Hello, this demo is about the Variatech BX production software. Here I'm going to show you the basis of the production, in this case bill of materials, or as we want to call it, a bill of resources. Now, how does it work? You can go to your inventory and your item master data. There you can have a look at what items and materials you have. Now, let's pick the red bike. You have all the information underneath every tab. So you see the inventory, planning data, things like that. Here you see extra fields where you can see whether this item has a standard cost schema, price schema, whether it's MTO planning, yes or no, so that the basic planning of the system is make to order instead of standard MRP. Cost and price schemas are used in calculation. That's the next demo you can have a look at. All the extra information you need for production. Now, how can you look at this? This is the bicycle we're going to make. This is the commercial information about it, and what we want to see is how is this bicycle built. So we can go here to the bill of materials, and there we have the production overview of a bill of material. Now, very important here is that you see the different types of material and operations, costs, things like that. How does it work? We have material in a couple of different ways. You have an operation with work centers behind it, where the real work is defined. Unfinished material and unfinished products for outsourcing. Supplier material, byproducts, that is a product you still can use, which is left after production. Standard costs, and a phantom, as you know it from Standard Business 1. Now, what you can see here, the two types of material with the little factory is subassembly, and this with the shopping chart is buying as a buying item. If you go to a subassembly, you can see the level underneath, and you can see they're the same. This is a subassembly again, and an operation again. This is a special operation. If you see this arrow sign into it, it means that it's an outsourced operation. So this painting and drying is done somewhere else. So that's how the system works. Now, what we did here is we defined a couple of materials, then an operation, then some other materials, again an operation, etc. That means that the materials here are used in the first operation. And this is the way how you build up your bill of material, with the quantities, with the prices. You can see you have all kinds of information, drawing positions, if it's linked to a CAD drawing, all information you need. Now, the basis of this is not only material, but of course, because it's MRP2, it's also capacity. And capacity is found in the operations. If we have a look there in this operation, this example, we see that we have the operation bike assembly. This is a specific BOM detail for this BOM. You can also have, if you look at your production overview, you can have different standard operations which you can alter or change or make new if you have new BOMs or production orders. In this case, for this bill of material, we have this overview. Now, as you can see, you have a couple of times. You have a before and after time. So if the system needs some extra time for transportation or for drying, if it's painted or whatever, you can define it there. You have a safety time, you have a tear down time, and here in this case we have just 6 minutes of setup and 85 minutes of real work time for this bike. Now, it's based on one bike. If you have very small parts, you can base it on 1000, so you have a little bit of realistic times you can use. And here you define the amount of time used for this specific item in this bill of material. Now, if you can if you look here at the right, you can see a couple of more things in the operation. You can see whether this operation can be broken or not. This means the system can either plan it completely, if it's not allowed to be broken, or if it's allowed, the system can say, okay, you can stop halfway today and you start working on it again tomorrow. The time of measure of the operation, then is it a parallel operation, and if yes, how many parallel operations is it, so parallel to other operations here. Is it overlapping, and if yes, what quantity? So you could say here I have to make 5 bicycles in general. Must I first finish all 5 of these and go then to the next, or may I, for instance, when I put 2 here, that after 2 of these I can start the next operation. Now you have allocation windows, so how do you want to see it in minutes, days, hours, whatever, and you have a minimum job quantity. So here you can manage your production quite well with times and with the different settings. Now if you look here, you can see that here in this case we need a feature for this assembly, and in this example as well we have a preferred work center. Now what can you do? You can leave it blank and the system looks in what work centers this specific feature can be done. It takes the first one, which is free, and then fills up the rest. If we have a preferred work center like this, the system first looks here. If it's possible, then it will be planned in here. If not, the system is going to look again. Do I have other work centers where I can do this job? And if this checkbox is on and if this one is mandatory, the system is only looking at this one. So that's very important. So this is what we need. If we need more, and we can add more, you can need a specific specialist as an employee, or you need a tool for your machinery or whatever, you can add that here as well with the different informations beside. Now how does this look? If you go to this assembly feature, you can see it's a work center, and if I want to see where can I do it, in this work center. Now then I can go to this work center itself and I can see that I can do this assembly here, but I can also do quality checking in the same work center. Now what do you see here? You can say whether it's active or not. If not, it won't be taken into account. And very important, if you have a lot of work centers, whether this is one with unlimited capacity or not. Normally we advise in an implementation that you only use limited work centers where you have bottlenecks, and for the rest start working with unlimited capacity, so only the bottlenecks are limited. That's because of the fact that otherwise you can have a lot of accounting when you do some planning or replanning. You can define a profit center, and you can define a shift plan, and the shift plan is the basis of the planning. I will just take one for this year, and you can see that for every day of the year you can define what shift day type it is. This is filled in with the wizard, very convenient, and we have just a couple of examples here that you have some shifts. Now if you have some capacity problems, you can say, okay, I change my shifts for the coming weeks, or the example here, if you have in the first 2 weeks in December a lot of pressure because of Christmas, you can define the Christmas rush as an example. Now how does that look? If I go in the menu to administration and then the setup, you can see that I can set up the shift day types. And the shift day types, I will just take the first. Here you define it, and here you say, okay, what shift lines do I have? So you can specify this very detailed if you want. This example just says in the morning shift I start at 7, I finish at 12. It is productive and it's not overtime, but the productive ratio in this example is 0.8, which means you can say, okay, in the morning people are not as active as in the afternoon, so this is a little less capacity and to be counted with than here. And so you can define your shifts. You can just have one line and a start and an end, and that's it. You can have a lot of lines with details. I have some more details in this example that I start and have coffee break and whatever. You can see that if you have the breaks, you don't say that it's productive. And in the end, you can see exactly in a shift like this, what is productive time, what is unproductive time, what is overtime, things like that. So this is the basis of the planning, and this is very easy to use. So you can fill in the whole year and change if needed because of planning problems or whatever. Now I will close these screens. So this is again how it works. Here you define the times, the extras, extra resources like employees, tools, those things. We've seen the features in the work centers with the capacity behind it. And then you have some extras. You can define cost amounts. Now, cost amounts can be defined in a work center itself. It can be at a level higher in the operation. Wherever you need costs or cost amounts, you can define it. You can add extra information about this operation, and this one is important, very important as well. Here you can define whether you can outsource this operation or not. If you do, you can define to what suppliers you can outsource it, and you can also have some figures that how many normally you would make in-house and how many you do in the outsourcing, things like that. So this is the basis, if we see this, of our complete bill of material, or again bill of resources. So you see exactly what you need on the material side, you see exactly what you need on the capacity side. You can define costs, you can define lead times, everything you need, the routing, everything is there. So this is for the Variatech BX production, the bill of materials or bill of resources. Thank you.